Hey everybody, how are you doing this evening? So I am going to wait for you guys to come on. I know that that people are planning to come on this evening. This is a really big deal for me tonight. So it's a really big deal. I tend to be somewhat private about my personal life, and but I know that in the work that I do, that my personal life is part of this journey. And so I'm really nervous and excited and just so many other things just to be sharing this with you all tonight. So I'm going to wait for you guys to come in. When you come in, just say hello. Just let me know you're there. Let me know you're there. Just say hello. But like I said, it's a really big deal for me to be sharing this with you tonight, especially today, and you'll soon learn why. Today is a very special day, I should say, and it's special for a lot of reasons. One of which I'm going to share. The most important reason I'm going to share. Hey Julie, how are you? Hey Ebony, how are you? Thank you. And so this really tonight is a message about healing. It's a message for women and men. Hi Jennifer. It's a message for women and men who need to heal, who have been stuck in their stories for far too long. Hey Kendall. Thank you, Kendall. People who have been stuck in their stories for far too long. Hey Nikki. People who have allowed their stories to basically cripple them, have allowed the circumstances of their lives to hold them hostage, have allowed the bad things that have happened to them to define who they are, have allowed themselves to be stuck in position, unable to move forward, unable to grow, unable to heal, unable to love again. And I just said, I had been contemplating this. Hey, Stephanie, thank you. I have been contemplating this for quite some time. I'm talking about contemplating like I'm contemplating something. But I have been contemplating this for quite some time because I knew that my healing was in my message. My healing was in my story. And as I have always done, I have always given my stories away. You know, some people keep their stories so close to their heart, and what ends up happening is that they end up hurting their hearts, literally. They end up with broken hearts that never heal. They end up with heart conditions. They end up with all types of disease, dis-ease, right? They end up with all of these ailments and mental and physical ailments because of the fact that they won't let go and they won't share their stories. They won't get them out, right? The main reason why we won't get our stories out is because we have so much shame and guilt around our stories. So much shame and guilt. So because I'm sharing this live with Facebook, you guys who are on, can you please share it with your network? So go ahead and invite. I'm just going to wait a couple of minutes if you can invite people in, because I want to drop some nuggets tonight. So if you can invite, you just click the little invite button next to your name, and you can invite people into the broadcast. Like I said, I share bits and pieces of my life, but I don't go into the deep, dark places of my life on social media, on Facebook. However, I realize that this is such a powerful tool. And because this is such a powerful tool, I want to use it to empower people, right? I want to use it for empowerment. We use it for so many things, but I really want to use it to empower others to stand in their own truth and to be victorious. So if you guys don't mind, if you can share it, you can invite other people to join in, and I'm going to start this conversation in about 3 minutes at 9:40. Just say hello. If you popped in, just say hello. Click the invite button and share. And I say that because I need you back here. I say that, I tell you to share. It's not for me, but it's for the woman or the man who really needs this message this evening. So, hi Leanna. So I'm talking tonight about the 3 golden nuggets I learned from my recent divorce. And I have a moss in the house. The 3 golden nuggets I learned from my recent divorce. I got to kill a moss. And so that's what I'm talking about tonight. Y'all heard me kill the moss. Sorry, little moss. Had to kill it. So the 3 golden nuggets. So let me just start here. Good evening. Hey, Nakia. Hey, Zoe. So, I was like so many women, so many African American women. I found myself single at 40, and single, no children, and I was thinking that my time, right, was coming to an end. Not so much that life was over, but things were looking a little bit like, oh, okay, well, this is just how it's going to be. Now, the reason why I'm mainly doing this tonight, thank you, Julie, is because I knew that as a life coach, I coach women through transition. And this was a conversation I just didn't want to have. I just didn't want to talk about it. I just did not want to, I didn't want to deal with it. And so what happened was, I knew that sooner or later I wanted to start to share this message on stages. I wanted to start to share this message with people. I wanted it to become part of my speaking platform. But I just didn't know how to tell this story, how to deliver this message. So I talked to someone quite recently, and a guy who was going to be doing some work for me. And I said, how do I tell the story? How do I convey what happened? And he said, you just tell the truth. And I was like, damn, that's priceless. You just tell the truth. And I realized that even though I wasn't saying anything, that my silence was not the truth. I've never posted about my ex-husband. I never talked ill about my ex-husband on social media. I never shared the fact that we separated last year in September. It's been almost a year since we've been separated. I never said anything because I didn't want to tell the truth. I didn't want to deal with the truth. And so I kept the truth to myself. And so about a week ago, I was on Facebook, of all places, and someone posted something, and it said, to all of you people out there who, when you were together and all in love, you posted all of these pictures and showed all these good times for us to like, and we liked your pictures, and we commented on your love, and we celebrated too. They said, and now that it's over, you're silent. And they said, give us something, because we need to heal too. And I know my shit ain't, that serious, that you guys need to heal as well. But what I do know is this. I know that when I met my ex-husband, there's so many women reached out to me. They inboxed me, women I didn't even know. And they talked about how our love had done something for them. That they had found something so inspiring in our love, that they had been touched and moved, and love had been reawakened in them, that they had finally seen the possibilities of what it was that they could have for themselves. They talked about black love, and they talked about love after 40, and they talked about, wow, sister, like, you found it. And I was feeling that myself. I was feeling the same thing you guys were feeling. And so when I just completely went silent, and I stopped talking about him, and I stopped talking about us, and I stopped posting, I felt like I had betrayed some of the women who had expressed such a great interest in what it was that I had found. So here was the first lesson that I learned in this journey. The first lesson that I learned is that we would rather keep up with a beautiful lie than to live with a painful truth. We would rather keep up with a beautiful lie than to live with a painful truth. And I wanted to keep up this beautiful lie, because when my husband and I first separated, and I will not go into details because I'm like Beyonce, I don't know if you know the song, but she talks about the song Survivor. She says, I'm not going to dish you on the internet because my mama taught me better than that. But I wanted to keep up with the beautiful lie. When we first separated, I wanted us to be back together, so I didn't put my stuff out there. Things were just still sort of iffy, and things were still on the fence, and the love was still there, and I just did not want to, I didn't want to mess with something so fragile. But when it came time, we divorced in March. And when it came time for us to divorce, it was more than, I knew that I had to start to share this with the women in my life. I knew that it was important for me to help them start to heal. See, there were women in my life who became my confidants. They became my support. There were women in my life who I didn't even know I was going to need them, but God had already placed them there. And there were men as well, don't get me wrong, some male friends. But I would rather, I was trying to live with a beautiful lie because I didn't want to deal with my truth. And let me be clear with you. This message tonight, I don't need anybody feeling sorry for me. Do not message me saying, oh, I'm so sorry and all this. I don't feel sorry for me. It was a beautiful lesson. It was a beautiful moment. I take nothing back. I take nothing back. So I don't want the messages, there is no woe is me. There is no, I can't believe this happened to me. There is none of that. Because good things happen to bad people and bad things happen to good people. And that's just life. So I decided specifically today to share this message because today, of all days, would have been our 2nd year anniversary. And what I wanted to do in this day was to take my power back. I wanted to take my power back so that this day never represents again something that was sentimental to me, but that it represents me living in my own truth and taking back my power. So that was the first lesson that I learned. The second lesson that I learned was that loving the wrong person doesn't make you weak. Loving the wrong person doesn't make you stupid. Loving the wrong person doesn't make you a fool. Loving the wrong person makes you human. That's what it does. It makes you human. And what it does is that it starts to expand your heart. It starts to expand your capacity for loving, so that when the right person comes along, you have so much more love to give. You have more love to give than the one you lost. That's what loving the wrong person does. And I'm not telling you that he was the wrong person for me, because I could have very well been the wrong person for him. And we could have been the wrong people for each other. But what I am telling you is that if you have been through anything and you've beat yourself up, because I did, about loving the wrong person, I realized that loving, period, is a gift that some people never get a chance to ever open. Loving, period, is a gift that some people never even get a chance to even unwrap. And so the fact that I was able to unwrap that gift of love is enough. So as I said to you, this is not a woe is me evening. This is not a portrait type of night. This is a celebratory evening celebrating the love that we have for ourselves, celebrating the love that we have to give to someone else, celebrating our capacities to live and let live. That's what this is. The third lesson that I learned, and the third nugget that I want to share with you guys, is that I told you when I got married, when I met him, I was 40. When I got married, I was 41. I was a statistic, right? So single, educated, black, no children, statistic. I was a statistic. And there are so many women watching tonight who are statistics. But here's the truth of the matter. Every single person watching tonight is a statistic. No matter whether you're single, you're a statistic. If you're divorced, you're a statistic. And if you're married, you're a statistic. So no matter how much I try, that's right, baby, statistics. No matter how you slice it, no matter how you try and get around it, you are a fucking statistic. Whether you're single, you're a statistic. Whether you're divorced, you're a statistic. And whether you're married, you're a statistic. So I was trying so desperately to not be the single statistic. And I won't say desperately because I didn't choose my husband or allow my husband, my ex-husband, to choose me out of desperation. We chose each other. And I believe that in us choosing each other, that in the moment we believed that we were making the best choice. But things happen. Life happens. Things don't always go the way that we planned them. But what we do is that we don't mull over it. We don't sit and sulk too long. You know, there's a saying that says, don't let your highs be too high and your lows be too low. You got to come a little bit right here. Because what I know for sure now, being a divorced woman, that there is a cycle, and there are a multitude of cycles that you'll go through. You'll go through the separation cycle if you get separated, and that'll be something that you'll have to deal with and get over. Then you'll go with maybe you're trying to get back together, you can't really deal with the reality that this has ended sort of cycle. Then you'll actually go through the divorce cycle. And what I chose to do is that I chose to cut the divorce cycle time down. And the reason why I did that is because I knew that my soul, that my spirit could not withstand the nastiness of divorce. That's not the story I wanted to be able to tell you, ladies. I didn't want to have to tell you all of the nasty and grimy things that happen in divorce. Yes. I didn't want to have to go through. I didn't want to have to tell you that story. And so I chose not to live in that story. See, the nastiness of divorce, if you take it through the courts and all this kind of stuff, that will drain you and pull you down. And I refuse to allow myself to be taken into that pit hole. That's a pit hole. And the thing that I knew about that is that once you start to allow lawyers to get involved, and once you allow yourself to get wrapped up in the courts and all of that kind of stuff, that what will happen to you is that you'll have to live with the memories of those moments. You'll have to live with the memories, because to take someone to court, to go through that process, you gotta get nasty. You gotta get ugly. And I wasn't willing to get that nasty and that ugly for something that didn't last as long as 24 months. I'm just saying, I wasn't willing to do it because I knew that I had to hold on to me. I posted something recently and I said, the woman who loses everything except her soul really loses nothing at all. I chose to keep my soul intact. I chose to hold on to my own truth. And the truth of the matter was, I chose not to get nasty. I chose not to go there. And you will see, this will be the only time you will ever see me on Facebook talking about my ex-husband. But I had to share it today because today could either go down as a day that I mourn and sulk over the fact that it should have been our 2-year anniversary, or today can be a day that I celebrate my own freedom, that I celebrate my own transformation, that I celebrate the fact that I am pulling out of this and I'm becoming more every single day, and I'm becoming better because of it. Not in spite of it, but because of it, I'm becoming a better woman. I'm becoming a better leader. I'm becoming a better healer, a better teacher. I am becoming so much more because of it. And so I am grateful for every last lesson that I learned. And if I can share anything with you ladies tonight, or you gentlemen, is that your blessings are in your lessons. Your blessings are in your lessons. Find your blessings in your lessons. Don't allow your lessons to be in vain. Don't think that there's nothing for you to get out of whatever it is that you've been through. Don't think that you can't rise above whatever situation you find yourself in. Don't think that you have to sit and sulk and be angry and hold on to all the bitterness that so many women are holding on to for years and years and years and years and years and decades. I did not want to share this message tonight. You guys do not understand. When I hit that send button, I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? What the hell are you doing to Ray? But I had to hit that send button because I knew my story isn't for me. My story is a gift for you. My story is a gift for you. My story is something for you to unwrap. It's something for you to take home with you and cherish and learn from and grow from and heal from. That's what my story is. I'm doing my healing. This is my healing. I speak. When I get on that stage, this is me on stage. When I get on that stage, this is my healing. This is my transformation. This is my truth. And I live in it. And I believe that when you allow yourself to be held hostage to your truth, then you are truly indeed a hostage. But you are the worst hostage of all. You are your own hostage. You are your own prisoner. And I refuse to be a prisoner. I refuse to be hostage to my own realities. I knew that I had to tell the truth. There's so much shame in moving through life's experiences, so much shame. But I knew that if I did not let this go, see, I had to tell the truth for a couple of reasons, right? I have some people in my life that I don't talk to regularly. Some friends and some friends. And I have people who've been calling me and messaging me over the past couple of months. And they don't call with sincere, Graham, may I ask, were you able to get to this point? Can you name a moment or a word of advice? What led you here? Yeah, I'll tell you what led me here. But what led me here is this, Stephanie, is that I have these people in my life who don't always show up for good times, right? And they don't always keep up with really, what's happening with you in your world for real until they see some drama happening. And I had people reaching out to me with all these vague little messages or these little sort of hinting messages like, oh, how's your husband? Well, you ain't seen him. You haven't seen me posting anything. You ain't seen no pictures. You haven't seen anything. But people will slyly, on the sly, right? They think they're doing it on the sly. They'll send you messages. They'll call you up, try and start little conversations. And I was just tired of the bullshit. Like, let's just get to it. Part of it is that I was tired of the bullshit. I was tired of people, calling me and texting me and asking me about my husband when they knew damn well they hadn't seen any pictures of him. They hadn't seen me post anything. So instead of being real, right, instead of them living in their truth, they were putting me on the spot. Instead of them having a real shady acres, instead of them having a real moment of truth, and really connecting with me and calling and saying, sister, you know, is something going on? You know, I have, like, keep it real at all times, because anybody who knows me knows that I keep it real at all times. So I got tired of people bullshitting with me and calling me up and asking me, you know, these questions. So that was the first thing, Stephanie. But like I said, the other thing that got me here was the fact that I felt like there was so much I wanted to start talking about women being single, me being single again, right? But I couldn't talk to you guys about being single again because I hadn't announced. I had not even said that I was single. I had not even said that I was going through what I was going through. You guys knew that I lost my grandmother in September. I found out that my other grandmother had dementia a week later. This all happened during the same week that I left my husband. So I lose my grandmother from ovarian cancer the same week that I separated from my husband. I find out my other grandmother has dementia the very next week. The very next week, I find out that my grandfather is going blind in both eyes and he has glaucoma. 2 weeks after that, my uncle, who's 73, who my grandmother, the one still living, was his caregiver, I find out that he might have cancer. And now I have become his caregiver because she has dementia. So I'm going through all of these storms of life. In November, I lose a young cousin who's 17. He dies suddenly. Very good kid. So I go to that funeral. In December, I lose another cousin. In January, we lost 2 people in the same month. The deaths never stop happening. And the whole time I'm grieving these people, I am grieving the loss of my marriage. I'm grieving the loss of this love that I thought I had found, this love that I thought was gonna last forever. Oh, that's right. My cousin said, and Uncle Ronnie. So after my grandmother dies, that same week, one of my uncles, another uncle, is also diagnosed with cancer, and we're at the hospital with him. And he's, you know, they didn't even know if he would make it. By the end of the year, my mom had surgery, and she was in the hospital back and forth. I'm telling you, I was going through hell. And so I knew that when I came out of this storm, see, I'm not telling you that the storm is over, but I'm telling you that I'm coming out of this storm, right? I'm telling you that on the opposite side of this storm, I saw a rainbow. I saw a rainbow. And I'm not telling you that to you know, sound all poetic and all that. No. But I knew that on the other side of this storm was some good stuff. It was some good stuff, because God does not put you through something He does not plan to get you through. God does not take you through what He does not plan to see you through. And so I knew that I was coming out, and that when I came out, I was going to come out even better, baby. That I was going to come out more. So I also knew that if God pulled me out. Oh, let me tell you another thing that happened. I went to see our testimonies are not meant for us. I went to see Girls Trip last week. Anybody go see Girls Trip? So I went to see Girls Trip last week. There were so many moments with Regina Hall wherein I was sitting there, and every time she would have to tell herself something good about herself. That was me. That was me in those moments. That was me for these past 12 months, having to speak goodness into my own self, right? See, there are so many negative people in the world. There's so many negative people that we even have in our circles and around us. People who pretend to be there for us, but they're really wishing us ill. And I don't say this, I'm not a negative thinker, but I know this to be truth. I had to pray away the demons. My grandmother who passed, When I came back to Cleveland in September, the week that she was passing, and I was coming home because I needed to talk to her. More importantly, I needed her to pray for me. I didn't know what was going to happen between my ex-husband and I. I just knew that I needed some prayer. And I knew that if my grandmother was nothing else, she was a praying woman. And I needed her prayer in that moment. So I pack up my ride and I head to Cleveland. And when I get to Cleveland, my grandmother can barely even speak a word. I know. Yes, thank you, Ebony. My grandmother could barely speak a word. And I realized that she wasn't going to be doing no praying for me. She was not going to be doing any more praying for me. That my grandmother had done all the praying that she could do. That was it. That her praying had run its course. And in that moment, I became the prayer. I became the one in that moment. Because my grandmother didn't leave me any money. She didn't leave me many valuables. Actually, I got this bracelet that I'm wearing that came from her. She didn't leave me a whole lot, but she left me everything. I realized in that moment when I came home to Cleveland for my grandmother to pray for me, that the greatest gift my grandmother had given me was that she had taught me how to pray for myself. She had taught me the power of prayer over myself. And once I knew that, once I had this beautiful epiphany that you weren't coming home for your grandmother to pray for you, you were coming home to pray over your grandmother. I came to Cleveland on a Sunday, and my grandmother died on Friday. Whew. September 30th. If there's anything I want you to know tonight, is that everything you think you need, you already have it. Everything you think you need, you already have it. Thinking that you need a husband, first you got to have some love for yourself. You got to have enough love to walk away from things that don't feed you, that don't lift you, from people who don't value you, from people who don't protect you, from people who don't hold a safe space for you. You have to have enough love for yourself that you know how to pray for yourself, that you know how to hold safe space for yourself, that you know how to protect your peace, guide your peace. When I came to Cleveland, I didn't know that I would be gone from my home in Alabama for so long. I thought I was just leaving temporarily. You know, people get back together. And when I got here, I could have gone to stay at my mom's house, but I came to my grandmother's house to help her in her transition. And I didn't know that her home would become my home. That this is where I would end up. This is where I would be. I've been in her home ever since she passed. Nobody else has come and stayed. People say, I don't know how you can stay there. And I tell them, well, she's not going to do anything to me. She's not going to hurt me. But this has become my safe haven. And every morning when I get up and I look out that window and I think about everything I lost, I think about everything I gained. I think about the fact that there are so many people who are still walking around with so much anger. I think about the fact that my grandmother speaks to me often in this space, and that she channeled herself through me during my time of mourning and grieving for my failed marriage. I think about the fact that I know that my strength comes from the women who stood before me, who came before me. I know that. And so I stand in front of the window, this kitchen sink window overlooking the duck pond in the back, and I say, thank you, Grandma. Thank you. Thank you for making me a courageous woman. Thank you for putting your grit and grace in me. Thank you for leaving me this home. Not leaving me this home, because this ain't my house. I don't own this house. But thank you for your blessings. Thank you for the fact that you existed. Thank you for the fact that you taught us what it was like to have self-respect and self-love. Thank you. Thank you. This has been such an amazing journey. And for those of you who are watching tonight or who will watch the replay, here's what you have to know. Someone said to me, he said, people don't care about your journey after you've made it, right? That the people that you work with, that the people that you inspire, that the people that you touch, they want to know what you've been through. They want to know that you've been through some shit before you come on telling them how to fix theirs. They want to know. And if there's anything that I can tell you, is that I don't teach, I don't coach, I don't speak from a place that I ain't been. Never. Never. So tonight was not just about letting go of some old wounds, healing some old hurts. Tonight was about redemption. It was about renewal. It was about rebirth. It was about recovery of whatever it was that I've lost. It was about growth and redirection. It was about transformation. It was about self-love and self-healing and the power of self-worth. It was about acknowledging the truth. It was about not being afraid to stand in your own shit, even though it stinks sometimes. But it's yours, and you gotta own it. And sometimes you gotta smell it, and it don't smell that good. It was about helping women to move. It was about doing what I said that I do. How can I talk to you and transform you and heal you and help you build businesses and help you change your lives and transform and just grow? How can I do that when I'm afraid to stand in my own truth? That's what tonight was about. I was so afraid to come on tonight. But I'm telling you, I remembered what Lisa Nichols said. She said, I have nothing to hide. I have nothing to protect, and I have nothing to defend. I have nothing to hide. So after tonight, y'all all know the truth. I have nothing more to protect, and I have nothing to defend. It just didn't work out. It just didn't work out. And that's how it goes sometimes. Sometimes it works. and sometimes it doesn't. So, I'm a poet, and many of you don't know it, and I didn't do that on purpose. I want to share with you guys. Do you guys want to hear a poem that I wrote? I have not written in a long time. I have not written in so long. But I wrote a poem called Dear Ex-Husband. Do you guys want to hear it? Thank you. Do you guys want to hear it? If you want to hear it, I need to get some hearts. I need you to heart up the screen if you want to hear this poem. I wrote it last week because I was just going through some things, and I was just like, man, I got to release it. I got to let it go. I got to write him a last love letter, right? I got to write that last love letter. So let me get my computer. Don't y'all go nowhere. Don't y'all go nowhere. Y'all keep hearting it up and keep sending those comments. Let me get my computer because I wasn't going to share this, but I'm going to share it with y'all. It's called Dear Ex-Husband. Hold on. Man, y'all just don't know how good I feel right now. And I mean, I feel good. I feel so good. It's called A Letter to My Dear Ex-Husband. Hey, Craig. Thanks, Clarence. So Craig knows I used to be Miss Poet Extraordinaire, and I just haven't written poetry in so long, but somehow heartbreaks will make you write some shit. Heartbreaks will make you write some shit. And so it's called A Letter to My Dear Ex-Husband. Dear ex-husband, just 1 year and 22 days into my love affair with you, you tell me it's not working and there's nothing we can do. I wanted to hate you in that moment, but I chose to love you instead. I wanted to curse you in that moment for every broken promise and every word we left unsaid. I wanted you to love me in that moment, but you would not let it be. And so I had to let you go, return your wings and set you free. Dear ex-husband, I'm not sure what's worse, to have love, to have stuck it out and endured the race, or to have my love smeared across my face. When I married you, I thought, finally, I could breathe again. I had found my forever mate, my gentle lover and my friend. You pursued my love and declared your affection, and no sooner than I gave you my heart, you were off in the opposite direction. Somehow I think you believe that love is just an overstocked commodity. Somehow I think you believe that love is just a novelty. Dear ex-husband, I need you to know that this type of love doesn't just come and go. It's planted in all that's rooted in everything that is pure and true. It's more than some will ever know, and it's appreciated by few. Consider yourself blessed to have been loved by me and lost. And I'll consider myself wiser, for now I know what loving you really cost. Consider yourself blessed, and I'll consider myself the same, for I gave you back your wings and you gave me back my name. My name is bold, fearless, curious, and brilliant. My name is courageous, contagious, and downright resilient. So thank you, ex-husband, for giving me back my grit and grace. For this love affair has proven that I am Tonka tough for any race. I almost forgot who I was. I carried your name for 18 months too long. I almost forgot what I was and started to sing a broken woman's song. I'll never say never, but I will say for sure that a love that is lost like mine can be redeemed itself no more. That the next time I find a lover who's so quick to seal the deal, I'll make certain that the love he has isn't just the run of the mill. I'll be certain to ask next time, is this all for little old me? Or is this just how some men love? who lack integrity. Dear ex-husband, I am moving on. Because an open wound, it never heals. And in order to be great in the world, I must live and let live. I am forgiving you, my first. For this I know, that the only way to have real peace is to learn to just let go. Thank you, ex-husband. We're free. That's it. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. Do not inbox me with no bullshit. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am so very humbled. I'm so very happy that I got this off my heart, off my chest. I'm shaping my fingers for that poem. I'm so happy that I am able to really start the journey of true healing, because true healing begins with forgiveness, right? So the only way to let go is to learn to just, the only way to be free is to learn to just let go, right? To learn to forgive and to live and let live, right? That's the only way. So I'm glad you got it, Imani. I'm glad you got what you needed. Please share that publicly. We'll see. We'll see, Stephanie. We'll see. No bullshit. I know. I know. It's such a free. Thank you. Reclaim your time, girl. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for the invite. Oh my God. Thank you, guys. Truly, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You know, share it with others. I don't believe in going on social media and telling all your business. Like I told you guys, I'm not going to tell you all the gory details of what happened. It's not important. And I loved him enough not to bash him. And I still love him as a person, not to want to see him hurt, because that's who I am. All right. So anyway, I hope you guys got something you needed, something that you didn't think you needed, but you got it anyway. And, you know, message me and share your stories and share your stories of healing and transformation and all that good stuff. All right. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. Love you.